Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.
Hello and welcome to the third and final part of the interview series that the Enterprise TV is curating to mark this year's International Women's Day celebration. This episode is in two parts. I am Olajumoke Alaode James, and once again, you're welcome. Now, former British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher once said, and I quote, "If you want something said, ask a man. If you want something done, ask a woman," end quote. Indeed, more and more women around the world appear to be doing big things, finding themselves leading boardrooms, and yes, in some cases, becoming leaders of nations. But in more ways than one, there's still the persistent feeling that women are not just there yet. Little surprise, therefore, that the theme for the 2024 International Women's Day celebration is Inspire Inclusion. The question, therefore, is how much inclusion is sufficient inclusion? As we did in the past two interviews, we have guests from the 100 Women Lobby Group, and we are going to be interviewing them in two different segments. Two of them are here with me right now. Let's meet and greet them. You are very welcome to the Enterprise TV, Olabisi Mekoye, Secretary of the 100 Women Lobby Group.
Thank you very much
for having
me.
Thank you. We're honored to have you here. And Ibigbami Adiola, a member of the 100 Women Lobby Group.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine.
You see that I'm aligning as a woman. I'm also in purple today.
Yeah. Love it.
So, inclusion, right? Taking it straight from the theme of the International Women's Day 2024 celebration, which is to inspire inclusion. What does inclusion mean for the Nigerian woman?
Inclusion for us means that we want to be on the table with the men in leadership, in politics, in development. All-round inclusivity is what we're asking for. We don't want to be left behind. We want to be on the table to contribute to national development and sustainability.
Okay. It's been many years that we started saying educate the woman child, educate the girl child. Now that the women are educated, why are we still clamoring for inclusion? I mean, if you are as educated as the man, why is there some segregation or separation, or if you like, leaving out, space that women ordinarily ought to feel, right, in the polity?
Actually, I believe what's happened is there are still some men that have not accepted the fact. They still see the women as a rival. But until inclusion in this aspect is not by competition, but it's an healthy collaboration. I want to put it like that. That is when they see us like a good part. Even we are called the best part. So until we got the fact, there's no way out.
Okay, what is mitigating against women? Not mitigating, more of mitigating against women inclusion in Nigeria. Because, I mean, we're people of different ethnicities. We ordinarily ought to be different nations, right? But the colonialists put us together for their own corporate good. Yeah? So, but we've developed, we're going to be 64 years in 2024. What are those factors that mitigate against the Nigerian woman being included?
We can begin to talk about culture. Some parts of our land, we believe, or it is believed, that women should be seen and not heard. You remember the other room saga? Yes. So culture sometimes mitigates against us,
Okay.
And we want to talk about equality, Also stereotyping, you're not supposed to to be seen, they are just supposed to be heard. So sometimes culture, I will not say really education, because we find so many of our women are educated, but they are not in the space where they are seen. So culture can also be a mitigating factor.
I argue against this sometimes, that I wasn't segregated against in my home. You know, I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and all 5 of us are educated. And my father didn't have to do anything special for the girls, aside from just educating all of us and giving us, you know, equality, right? So I didn't find segregation in the workplace, maybe because I live in the urban area down here in Lagos. Maybe if I was living in the north, for instance, maybe somewhere in Sokoto and in the rural area, right, regardless of my education, I would still not find that opportunity, because they would say, oh, go and get married, go and take care of your family, you know. But for the majority of us who are educated in the urban areas, we still do not understand what you mean by segregation, if you understand what I'm getting at. So why, therefore, are women themselves holding themselves back?
Actually, we could say the home training. You know, our African culture allows women to be separated, that is, taking care of home, the house choice, and everything. So unless her mentality, her thought, have been subjected to the fact that this is what you have to serve.
Okay.
So it takes a long time to take it out of our body, because it's something that has been put there by our forefathers and people around us. So I think that is the reason why there's still that mentality in women, that if you talk too much, you are either too abusive or too loud.
Oh, I hear it all the time. I'm very loud. I talk too much. I'm very outspoken, you know. But I will not allow anybody shut me down. What is the 100 Women Lobby Group doing to encourage women to be who they are? Stand out. You want to hear loud. Be proud. You know, what are you doing differently to encourage women?
We do grassroots mobilization.
Okay.
We tell our women that the sky is the beginning, not the limit. We encourage them, we support them, especially women that are coming into politics. You know, we give them that room to thrive. We give them the room to kind of mingle with their peers, you know, and they will do some sort of support for them, posters and production. We teach them how to speak. We teach them how to even do nocturnal meetings.
Oh.
You know, yes, we tell them that you cannot say you want to be there and our men are having their meetings in the nights. Come on, you have to be what the men are. So those are the areas that we... Yes.
Rather than ask us
to
force the men to be having meetings during the day.
But you know that's how it goes. That's how it goes. There's nothing like I'm wearing my baby diapers.
Oh my goodness.
So we put them on the spots. We ensure that as the men are coming up, they are coming up as well.
Okay.
We empower them
to
be able to be at par with the men.
Okay.
Yes.
So, as a member, how have you been empowered by the 100 Women Lobby Group?
And actually, in a way, is looking out for the talent, because every woman has his own talent, the ability. So the 100 Women Lobby give us that ability to expose and to exploit our environment at any level. There's no limitation, as much as you can bring out, and you are well taught. There's mentorship.
Oh, nice. Thank you very much. And I'll be seeing Mekweye and Ibi Bami Adiola.
Thank you.
When we come back, we're going to be talking to 2 other women from the 100 Women Lobby Group. And it is still the Enterprise TV special broadcast on the International Women's Day 2024. Please do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Enterprise TV, your one-stop shop for news, programs, human angle stories, the economy, sports, and much more. We go the extra mile to bring incredible details to you. So hop on the train now. Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.
And you're welcome back to the special series on the Enterprise TV marking the International Women's Day 2024, and we're still speaking with women from the 100 Women Lobby Group. Here with me in the second segment of our third part are Iroma Ofotube, PRO 100 Women Lobby Group. You're welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
And Margaret Chichi Nkiri, also a member of the 100 Women Lobby Group. You're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So, there's the argument about equity and equality, right? Equality is giving all of us the same thing, while equity is giving what each of us needs. So Jumoke needs 100 bags of rice, right? And Iroma needs 200 bags of rice, right? Chichi needs 300 bags, but all of us are given 100 bags. Meaning Jumoke is just okay, but you do not have what you need sufficiently. Should we be fighting for equity, meaning that give women what they need, or fight for equality? Because when they say, oh yeah, women, come and drive trucks, that's when we remember, I am not physically able. Do you understand the question, ma'am? Please go ahead, Iroma, and answer that question.
Okay. You know, the theme for this year's International Women's Day is fantastic. Let's not forget, that is inspire inclusion. And let's not forget there's a hashtag there that says invest in women, accelerate progress. So, number one, we are asking for inclusion. What we want.
Okay.
Yes, what we want.
Okay.
35% affirmation.
Affirmative action.
Yes. Then, when that is done, is ensured, progress is assured. Is accelerated. Not only that we have progress, it will be accelerated. So, we are still investing in women, is investing in human rights, in women's rights. And gender equality remains a key challenge in human rights.
Okay.
Yes.
Chichi, when we say gender equality, particularly for Nigerian women, because you know we're different all over the world, right? And some women in other parts, Liberia had a female president, so they're different, right, from us. What is the Nigerian woman really asking for when we say gender equality?
Okay, thank you very much. The issue of gender equality for Nigerian women, it's something that can no longer be overlooked. Why? Because when we talk about getting equality, we have to ensure that there is equity. Why? Because you cannot have equality without having that process.
Okay.
Equity is the process to get it. Let me give an example. For instance, you say that everyone is entitled to good health and well-being. And then this includes a man and a woman. And then you have a hospital scenario whereby a woman goes to get access to health care. And then there are some barriers that are there that does not enable her to access this health care the same way the man is getting this health care. So when that gap, when that barrier is there, it becomes difficult for us to have equality.
Is this factual? Do they
Yes.
segregate women and men in hospitals?
Not in that sense. Let me give an example.
Or were you just using it as an example? Okay, I hear you.
There's some hospitals, there's some scenarios whereby a woman needs to get health care and there's no privacy in that consulting room.
Okay, let's use an example that happened very recently. And this happened in Ibadan, where a lady took her baby, an infant, a few days or maybe a few weeks old baby to the hospital. And they said, before you have access to the pediatric department, you must remove it wasn't a hijab, it was a niqab, the long one.
Okay.
And the nurses said it's for what we call for the place to be sterile. right? That we want to prevent infections and all of that.
In the environment.
Also for safety, even though security is the concern also, but it's primarily for safety. The woman refused. And in the video that went viral, her husband was shouting, "Why didn't you tell us this before we paid for the service? Now you're saying she cannot access the pediatric department, you have already paid." And it was a big issue. And the Muslims were, this is our way of dressing. But the nurses were, listen, we have never had this problem before. Where a woman will put her religious belief ahead of her child's health. Now, in that scenario, right, you want to say, I want to have my rights as a woman, my right to life, my right to choose association, my right to religion. But the healthcare facility is also saying we must protect ourselves and protect other children who are using this department. What is right, what is wrong in such a scenario?
So I think in such a scenario, the manner of approach matters. So the way you approach the patient to let the patient understand why you need the patient to take off that hijab, it really matters. So if there's a better understanding between the patient and the health personnel, I think it shouldn't be an issue, because primarily the health comes first in everything.
Okay, Uoma, you're one person I know advocates for our rights when it comes to health issues, right? That you must have information. I want you to wade into this conversation.
Okay, in that case, those things, your religion or whatever it cannot take precedence over health. You know, there are medical ethics, and whoever you are, no matter your status, no matter your position, once you get to that space, you have to comply with the ethics.
Okay.
Because you don't know where the person is coming from.
Very true.
The theater is like a temple. You don't just barge into the theater like that. You have to obey the rules guiding that particular space. So, number one is patient education anyway. Some of these, our health workers are not very polite. You know, like she said, if I should buy from her opinion, at times they don't call the patient to explain. Because that same woman will one day happen to have a surgical case, which may require that she will remove everything. So you don't tell me.
You will not care if it's a man.
No. We have a lot of them. In that case, they put that religion behind them and comply. So it's all about the person. It's not a human right. It's just for someone to, know what to do and what not to do.
Okay, so the theme for International Women's Day 2024, Inspire Inclusion. Right? Inspire Inclusion. At the 100 Women Lobby Group, what are we asking for? 1, from the government, 2, from Nigerians, and then thirdly, from ourselves, women. Let me let you go first, Chichi.
Okay, from the 100 Women Lobby Group, in relation to the International Women's Day theme, which is Inspire Inclusion, we are asking for 35% affirmative action from government to ensure that women are well included in political decisions.
So let me pause you on that, because in President Jonathan's time, we had 35% affirmative action. So does it mean that subsequent governments, we have to keep on asking them? Because in President Buhari's time, he reversed it, right? He didn't have enough women, or he did not find them, or maybe because of his own culture and religion. So when you ask for affirmative action from the background of culture and religion in Nigeria, are we being realistic?
That is why.
Because all the women you will find, they will be from the south. Remember President Obasanjo's administration? All the women in his cabinet. Not all, but most of them.
Yes.
The Okonjo-Iwealas, the Obi Ezekwesili,
the South dominated the cabinet.
Because in northern women, they are supposed to be seen and not heard.
Exactly.
So when you ask for 35% affirmative action, are you being realistic in Nigeria?
I think that question should be thrown to our leaders, because we're doing our work now. This is the reason why we're here, pushing for our rights. So in this occasion now, we are relating it as this is one of the things why that is why this 100 Women Lobby Group was established, for us to use that platform to push our rights, for our rights.
Okay.
That very question, I don't think, is not realistic. And the answer should be given by our leaders, why they are not including women like that, at that expected level in the scheme of things. So our leaders should answer that question.
Okay, so the final word. Nigeria is still a very patriarchal society, to be honest with you. So when we ask for inclusion, right, of women, is it possible, and how do we expect to get it done?
How do we expect to get it done? Giving women chances and opportunities to function at the right place, not regarding a woman to be, just shaving away that stereotype and believe that a woman can.
So who's going to give women the chance? Their husbands or their fathers?
It starts from home. It starts from the fathers. Because at times, a woman is what the patriarchy starts from home. When we tell a woman, don't you know that you're a woman? Why would you talk like that? Why would you say like that? No, you are not supposed to be thinking like that. You are a woman. It starts from home. But when you start training a child and give that child the orientation that you can, whatever you wish to do, you can. Like, let me use myself as an example. When I was growing up, I was a very, very ambitious person. And anytime I see women being interviewed, and, I would tell my mom I want to be like this woman in the society. They will be interviewing me. I'll be among the women that, an authority, that women they will be reckoning with in particular area. Yeah. So my mom will tell me, you have to be serious with your education before you get there. Because you can. And what my parents did was because of that kind of ambition I have, they made sure that from secondary school, they put me in a very competitive school that will challenge me to become what I want to be. They really tried in that aspect. But some people, but I have some contemporaries that will graduate from primary school, secondary school, they get married. Do you understand? In my own community, where I come from, those days, they believe that once you pass that stage of secondary school and you want to enter university, you don't open eye too much. Don't go for that one. It's either they marry you as you're coming out from secondary school, your level of education are limited to college of education. You understand? Where you, at the end of the day, you end up as a teacher, then be having children and taking care of your children.
It's a societal problem. When you say that the president is not looking for women to the extent that we have 35% affirmative action, we're not talking about husbands who are not allowing their wives go out. Yeah, you're not sure, go and take care of the home. Or fathers who are not even allowing their daughters to thrive and strive to be anything higher than basic education.
Stereotype just limits you that this is where you're supposed to be. Then we women also should support
one another.
We should be that woman or that queen that fixes another queen's crown. Do you understand? There's this pull him down syndrome among women also in some settings. Some support. I am an example of, woman supporting woman.
Chichi, the 100 Women Lobby Group is women supporting women.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right? In your final words, how are we supporting one another, and how do you want us to encourage the work that you do?
I want you to encourage.
Yes, we, the society, to encourage the work that 100 Women Lobby Group is doing.
Okay, it's very simple. Just like we are here today, you are already a media partner to 100 Women Lobby Group, and that's one way that you are supporting the work that we are doing. And we are also asking the public, as they are listening to us, they should also hearken to our call for action, and they should also help us to project our voices in governance. So this is another way the public can help us to achieve our primary objective of ensuring that women are being included. And let's not forget the bigger corporations. It's a known fact that when it comes to women attaining higher leadership positions, that has been a very big issue, even not just in Nigeria, but all over the world. So we are also asking that those in bigger corporations should put into place structures that encourages diversity, whereby women are being better projected and ensure that they get to that leadership position that they deserve, and not just looking at them because of the paternal nature or the motherly nature of taking care of babies. So these are one of the ways that we would like the society to support.
To encourage us. Okay.
Amen.
Thank you very much, Margaret Chichi Nkire, member 100 Women Lobby Group, and Iroma Ofotube, PRO, 100 Women Lobby Group.
Thank you
for
very
joining us.
Thank you.
And that's the conclusion of our series of interviews on the Enterprise TV, celebrating the International Women's Day 2024 in collaboration with 100 Women Lobby Group. This year's theme has been Inspire Inclusion, and we inspire you to include women in every segment that you find them. Women as educated, and regardless of our maternal and nurturing nature, a woman builds, a woman nurtures, a woman encourages every society. So we're as good as presidents, we're as good as director generals in different organizations. Women make the world go round. If you want something done, ask a woman.
A woman.
Thank you very much for joining us on this series, and until we see you at next year's celebration, thank you for joining us on Enterprise TV. Bye for now.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.